Hey, good morning. Wow, it's funny to be by myself today, but welcome. Good morning. Welcome to Business Over Breakfast on behalf of Shop Local Rhode Island. And one of the things that we try to do here is introduce our businesses to other businesses and to organizations that are serving lots of businesses. So let's just jump right in. We have some special guests today from Providence Media and Hey Rhody magazine. So we have Nick DelGiudice, the general manager. Hey, Nick. And he is with Sascha Martin. I think it's still Martin, and Elyse Major.
There she is.
Hi, guys. Good morning. Sascha is the digital media manager, and Elyse Major is the editor-in-chief. So we got the big guns today. And I just want to show you, so this is what it looks like, and you probably see these everywhere. So I just want to start off. This morning, I was thinking about the work that you do and how it can support other businesses. And I mean, I think one of the big things that stands out is you can pick this up for free, and there is a huge amount of value being delivered to you. So I'd love to just start there and have you guys talk a little bit about the things that you are delivering to the business community on a regular basis, and so beautifully. I mean, so well done. So you guys can decide who starts.
Sure. I mean, I can kind of start, and then I'm sure we can go around the horn a little bit. I think there's a lot that we bring, just kind of across the board with our publications. We're, I believe, the only magazine or publishing company in the state that serves both a local, regional publishing in our South County. So Rhode Island, Providence Monthly covers Providence, and then the Bay Magazine covers the East Bay. But then we also do a statewide. So, coming to one organization kind of helps or allows you to reach out in multiple different ways and to target different areas that you're looking for.
Hey, Nick, one of the things I'm thinking is, all right, we're just going to back it up and slow it down a little. So you have Hey Rhody, which is kind of like your umbrella publication that serves the whole state, and it brings in stories from all over the state. And then and then you said you have 3 other publications that serve specific areas of the state. Can you kind of go through that again?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have, again, like you said, Hey Rhody does our statewide. And then, so Providence Monthly serves Providence proper and the greater Providence area. It used to be, so pre-pandemic, we had Eastside Monthly as well. Eastside Monthly was founded in 1975 by actually an independent publisher who quickly joined up with our owners and publishers, and they've been with it for a very long time. When we hit the pandemic and all the fun stuff that followed, us, like everybody else, had to kind of roll with the punches and do some new and different things. And we had been considering it for a very long time to just meld the two into one. And we decided to go ahead and do that. So we still do the same. Yep, that's Providence Monthly right there.
All right,
and
cool.
So we still do the same. One of the big things with Eastside Monthly is that it delivers directly, or it did deliver directly to everybody on the East Side. So we still do that with Providence Monthly.
Right.
We maintain that mailing list, and it lets us do, so we get full saturation of the residences on the East Side itself. And then there's about another 8,000 copies that get distributed through the rest of the city. And then outside of that, we have the Bay Magazine, which is all of the East Bay, including Riverside and East Providence, and kind of that whole area at that portion of our coastline. That one's been around for quite a bit as well. And then we have So Rhode Island, which covers all of South County. We demarcate South County starting at East Greenwich South. And that
makes sense for Rhode Islanders, I think, because then that's when you need your passport, right? You're passing it for passport sake. I'd love to hear from Elyse about just what happens. Like, so Nick was saying during the pandemic and things shifted. So as editor-in-chief and finding stories, I'm thinking of our conversation as just like kind of past, present, future. And like what happened during the pandemic? Because you do have some changes coming along in your production, but how did you experience the last year and a half?
I think the pandemic, we always were small business focused, but I feel that during the pandemic, even more so, we really felt a partnership. Like there's such a symbiotic relationship with small businesses and the stories that we cover and the magazines, because most of our revenue stream comes from the display ads and print. So if you're a small business, when you're shuttering your windows because of the pandemic, you're not placing an ad. So we found that early on during lockdown, we actually put a lot of the magazines, we put all the magazines into pause. And what I did was I really focused on the online component because I wanted to make sure people knew we were still around, and I was actually still writing new articles and posting them online, and had started this thing called Rhody Resources, where people would email me, what they were still able to provide at that time while their doors were closed. So then one by one, when the magazines came back, I just felt so grateful to still be doing the work. And I feel like the stories changed a little bit. Like we've always been kind of light and fluffy, but it's lifestyle journalism. So we want to put the spotlight on all, like great things that
I do think, I mean, it is lifestyle journal. It's really, so kudos to you. It's amazingly well done. I mean, I have to say, every time I read the magazine, I almost can't believe it's free. So one of the things that I want to give you guys a shout out on is your new subscription offer, and really allowing any audience members to just receive the magazine wherever they are, and kind of moving it into a subscription phase, because it is pretty cool. And I think about, like, that is the reason we started Shop Local Rhode Island, was this idea of businesses kind of trying to, or even customers and shoppers trying to figure out what's open, who's doing what, where do I go for curbside pickup? Where are these businesses? And I think it's been really, over the last, let's say 18 months, just amazing at the organizations that have stepped up during this time to do things that they haven't ordinarily done in the past. So Sascha, we haven't heard from you, but
I was just gonna one of my favorite, I mean, obviously the pandemic really put a lot of most people through the ringer in a really terrible way. One positive thing that I think has come out of it is businesses, I think at some point it was more of a kind of feast or famine sort of mentality, where everyone was in their own lane, trying to be successful, trying to make things work for their business, which rightfully so, you want to be successful in your lane. And I think after or during COVID, I think people kind of realize, like, hey, we're more successful when we come together and we use our resources together as a collective, and especially in a state like Rhode Island that's so small. I think that the change I live in Providence. Every other day, I'm seeing someone talk about how they're doing a collaboration with another business. Restaurants are collaborating with bars and with clothing companies and markets. And I think we're really focusing on building up that small business. And, after it was 18 months that we were kind of in that weird lockdown.
I always think that one of the things that the pandemic did for everyone is basically get rid of the need for time. Well, you guys are on a publication, so you're kind of on the timeline all the time. But I think it's really funny because it's almost like, what was that last year? Do we keep saying the last year, and now it's 18 months?
Yeah, I kind of refer to all of COVID as like 1 year. I know it's like almost 2 years, but it just doesn't feel like two separate years. It feels like one long duration. Or actually looking back on it, like it wasn't, when you were in it, it felt like it took forever. But now looking back on it, it's like, holy crap. Like that time passed pretty quickly.
Yeah. So what's like a normal, you guys have this, I want to talk about the new podcast coming up, but I want to understand, like, now, in our new normal, which like, I'm tired of cliche stuff like that, but what's like a normal day in your business? I know you recently moved to a new location, but like what, if you guys could each give us like, what's a normal day for you, Nick?
How much time do you have?
So, I'm sure everybody can relate to the fact that, being a small business requires wearing a lot of hats. I became general manager during the pandemic. Kind of like I always refer to it as like a wartime promotion. And so I just had to kind of think on my feet and learn on my feet and change the way we were doing things and kind of adapt to the times. And so I'm actually technically our creative director, our general manager, and our staff photographer, and kind of the IT guy and maintenance, the whole 9 yards. So
but every small business in the world can easily relate to that. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So there, no 2 days are really alike. We're on like a hybrid work schedule these days. So everybody's in the office 1 day a week. I tend to be in the office between 1 and 4 times a week, depending on the week and what's going on. And, everybody does, we lost you. Everybody does work from home. And I'll do that as well. But yeah, I'd say my typical day is sitting in front of the computer or being on the road or in the office, doing printouts or running things across the state or going to do photo shoots, or not really much of a typical day, I don't think.
Yeah, that's good.
My typical day is non-typical.
Yeah, what is that? The only certainty is uncertainty.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Yep.
So what about you guys, Elyse and Sascha?
Okay, sure. So being the digital media manager, my biggest focus, I would say, is our social media presence and the engagement we have with our audience. I think that's something that's really important to us as a company, is being engaged with the community, whether that's through social media, whether that's through our free publications. Obviously, we have really like our ear to the ground when it comes to small businesses, it comes to the community, it comes to what's going on. So for me, again, and my day is always different. Yeah, it's like there's always something new going on, but I like to use a good portion of my day to just scope things out and figure out what's happening in the state. With our magazines, obviously, we have a lead time. We have about a month lead time. And what's nice about our newsletter and our social media presence is we can jump on the things that are happening in the now, so we can be up to date on everything. So a good portion of my day is devoted to that. I know we're going to discuss it later, but Nick and I have started a Hey Rhody podcast. So we're doing a lot of work for that, which we can get into a little later.
I could just jump right in, but at least I won't forget. We still need your day in the life. But yeah, I'd love to hear about like how go tell us about it.
Well, I'll start and then you can jump in whenever you want, Nick. So Nick and I So Nick started a new position during COVID, and I was new to the company leading up to COVID. So I think we were both kind of in these new roles, new positions that we were both trying to figure out. And we had a conversation. It was one of our first conversations together, and we just getting to know each other because he was in the art department before. We really had no communication before. So we chatted, and one of the things that we were like, we both love podcasts. Don't you think it'd be really good if we had like a Hey Rhody podcast? I mean, we're both, I'm going to speak for you, but like we're both obsessed with the state. We both love being part of the community, and we get the opportunity to work with really cool people who kind of are the heartbeat of Rhode Island. But a lot of Rhode Islanders might not know the person behind the news article. So we were really we're really aiming to take these people that you might have heard about, an influencer or someone who's making, a big splash in the news. We want to talk to them about like, hey, where's your favorite place to grab pizza? Like, where's your favorite coffee shop? And just bring it a little bit more to the personal side.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any.
Yeah, it's a very conversational podcast. So it's you know, in the vein of like kind of an interview, but more just a conversation, getting to know the people. Like Sascha said, the person behind the article, or, you know, sometimes it can be somebody that we've written about. It could be an artist or a musician. It can be, a lot of it is business owners and maybe very well-known businesses in the area that you've patronized your entire lives, or driven by, or known the names of, but you don't really know the people who run it, or what their story is, or any of that. So we thought it'd be really interesting to actually get to know some of these people, because there's like a thing in Rhode Island where we all feel like we know everything about Rhode Island, and then you slowly figure out that you really didn't know that much about
I used to travel a lot when I had a corporate role, and I would be, you know, on that last leg coming into Providence. And so I'm, you know, wherever I was, I'd get on the plane that's going to land in Providence and immediately think, I will know everybody on this plane. And then I realize, like, oh, there are some people I actually don't know in Rhode Island. I'm always looking for someone, but it's so small. So Elyse, what is a day in your life?
I always joke that I feel like a switchboard operator, because there's just so many things coming in all at the same time. So, you know, I might get receive an email and it sparks a story lead. I might be playing on Instagram and it sparks a story lead. And then I go down the rabbit hole and I want to find it. Do I want to write it? Do I want to assign it? I have articles coming in that have to be reviewed. I have photos that I'm trying to help solicit for the art department. I am, you know, maybe training an intern. I mean, it's just constant, like, it's a good, like, it's almost like make ADD work for you, right? Because I'm just like constantly like swinging from vine to vine. Like, just,
I love that. I love that.
Like, now I'm writing, now I'm editing, now I'm interviewing somebody, now I'm planning 2022. Now, you know, and the funny thing is too, for all of us is, you know, right now we're like entrenched in December. So if I go to a store and I see Halloween decorations, I'm like, did Halloween happen yet? It feels like it happened 2 months ago. So we're always like in this like state of confusion, because we have our, you know, like even Sascha had said, like, our feet are in two different places. We're very much in the now for social media and for, you know, the newsletter, but we're also plotting ahead for print and for our editorial calendar. So, you know, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, that's really cool. I would like a day like that where you just kind of follow all the little leads. I think so in for Shop Local, we're straight up ready for getting vendors on for the holiday. And I was so excited that we actually got spy kits on the site yesterday. So I was like, oh yeah, we're getting into the toys. But then I think, you know, I guess here, I'm going to ask you guys a question. If you wanted to see, if you were going to Shop Local Rhode Island and you were looking for something, what would you be looking for the holiday season?
I always, for like a gift for someone.
Yeah.
My go-to is always like kitchen stuff. I feel like, especially at like local stores, there's always fun recipe books that you might have never seen before, like maybe a fun shaped cookie cutter or some sort of like funky, you know, utensil. I myself do not bake, but I love my friends that do. So I just try to like,
so
you know, feed their habit so I can then feed on their baked goods. So yes, I think like fun kitchen stuff is always a good, and you know, people will always use that sort of thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would say like I actually like the kitchen stuff idea. I was trying to think of like, oh,
you know, you can't steal ideas.
But no, I would go. I mean, in my family, we do like a Yankee Swap. You get one person, and then we just buy stuff for the kids. So like my brother recently had a second baby, so we have a 3-year-old and a newborn in the family, and then we have a cousin that has children. So most of it would be kind of toys that I would be looking for. The thing that I've found difficult, and like right now it's not as big of a deal because he's 3 years old and he goes through phases like crazy, but toys aren't made sturdy anymore. So like a quality toy is not that easy to find. So something like, I know that's like a really general thing to put out there, but like an actual quality toy, not something made of like thin plastic that's going to just fall apart. But I'm one of those people that will pay extra for something that's quality built.
I remember when my kids were small, one of my favorite toys, and I won't even remember the name, is like the wood train set that you can set up, and then you have the bridge. And I think I liked that more than my kids actually liked it.
That was like us with Lincoln Logs.
Toy.
Yeah, we had Lincoln Logs, and my mom, I swear she liked those a lot more than we did. She just wanted to build stuff.
And Elyse, what would you be looking for?
Yeah, it must be like a little bit of my own maker background, but I love to find like unique handmade goods. And I also love anything that's sort of like branded with Rhode Island. So like, you know, like I have this Block Island mug, you know, like I can't get enough like locally made tote bags, you know, like note cards by artists. I like a lot of like little unique Rhode Island kind of things.
Yeah, that's awesome. I do too. And we have a ton of it on Shop Local right now. We have a number of companies that make Rhode Island stuff. But I think our big push lately has been really just getting more variety from our vendors. And last week we hit 300 products, which was kind of cool. And so we can see, thank you. We can feel like the holiday, the holiday push. So we're trying to keep the momentum going. And I wrote a list the other day about what I would like to see. And now what did I write? I'm not going to be able to find it. Oh, I did hats, like cool, beautiful winter hats. I did have toys, cutting boards. I like, so I'm in search for that stuff.
I have a random one I just thought of because I just realized I buy these a lot for gifts, but like nice blankets. I tend to, because it's a nice like general gift. It's not really like gender oriented or anything, and like, everybody likes a nice like cozy blanket.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah,
yes.
It's always a good gift.
Lori, what's your go-to for like? What do you look for gifts for family and friends?
I think like I like to find unique, handmade or beautifully made products. Last year I didn't go shopping, and I am a yoga instructor, and I trained with Christine DeLulio. She's the owner of the Woods Yoga Studio, and they have a beautiful shop there. So she had her phone on FaceTime, and we kind of went through the store, and I was like, I want that, which was like blue cheese salt, some alpaca socks, stickers.
Talk about cozy.
Like
She had a number of really cool things, and at that time, most of the owners were doing the deliveries, which was a big deal. And so again, that was part of in the Shop Local Rhode Island development, was to make sure that we had other shipping options. So if an owner, for example, wants to deliver, they have that option in Shop Local. They can say, like, we deliver within a 5-mile radius, or we offer curbside pickup. But we also have other, the typical shipping delivery services too. We really are seeing that the United States Post Office is stepping up for us more than the others, and a lot of the shipping in Shop Local is Rhode Island to Rhode Island for those people that don't have passports to get to Westerly. So
yeah, the good thing about that is the shipping from Rhode Island to Rhode Island is not going to get stuck in a shipping container off the coast of California.
Exactly. And I mean, we're all watching it. We're seeing people thinking about how do I want to shop? What do I want to do for this season? And we were talking to someone last week around like when dollars are spent in the community, we have over 50% of that money stays in this circular economy. And if it's spent with Amazon or somewhere far away, it's like less than 10 cents. So we're in this cool, I think, regroup space as we all come together after, post-pandemic, whenever that happens. But it's cool.
Getting there.
So what is it that we do on, so we do this other show called The Local Look. and it's only 3 questions. And so we bring on the small businesses, we ask them 3 questions, and the 3rd question comes out of like a mystery box. So are you guys up for a challenge question before we end?
Yeah, sure.
All righty. I'm going to pick one. Who wants to go first?
Sure, I'll go first. Oh, all right, Elyse, you win.
All right, Elyse. Which superpower would you like to have?
I think I'd like to beam myself places.
Yeah.
So
no
I could just
no
go
gas
to like,
lines. No.
yeah, I could just like go to Paris for the weekend just by like blink, you know.
Is that the I Dream a Genie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's Bewitched.
Wait, no, that's I Dream a Genie.
No,
I do.
Genie does that too. Yeah.
Yep.
The witch is the
And
little
she just
one.
disappears. Bink.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna pop around places.
That sounds awesome.
Take us with you.
All right, who's
Maybe if we
next?
hold hands. I'll go, I guess.
All right, ready?
I'm scared.
What would you do if you won the lottery?
Oh,
Be
wow.
careful, your boss is sitting right next to you.
You guys are getting all the good questions.
I'm so sorry. So I have I feel like sometimes I can be on the air of I'm not trying to like give myself a pat on the back, but I tend to be like overly generous sometimes. And it's so funny because my husband and I actually talk about this all the time. Like, what would we do if we didn't win the lottery? And I'm always like, well, we would give these people like, you know, $100,000. We'd give, and he's always like, whoa, 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 whoa. We have college loans to pay, girl. So I would probably pay my college loans.
That's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, I would, I would pay off all of my college loans, which I think anybody here would do who has them. But then I would honestly use it to just like have a fun life and make sure that the community around me and the people around me were also living good lives. I am of the thought like you don't have to be overly materialistic in things. So I think as long as you have a car that drives, a roof over your head that's cute, and you know,
and you know what?
that's delicious.
Maseratis drive just as well as any other car.
True.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh,
Just need to be fixed more
Maserati.
often.
Okay, that's on my wall right here. I was going to say, Sascha, you know, a lot of what you just said is stuff you're already doing. So just goes to you. You get that.
I just won't have to be stressed out about like, okay, I need to pay this bill. I can just do it freely with no worry.
Yeah, business may not buy. Money may not buy you happiness, but it can buy you some calm.
Yeah, some worryless nights.
Convenience and calm. All right, Nick, you ready? I'm going to try and find a really hard question for you.
All right, perfect.
Let's see. All right. Oh, this is great. If you could be any animal in the world, what would you be and why?
Man, I wish I got that question.
That's a good Nick question.
That is a good me question.
That
I love
is a
animals.
good question.
Oh, good.
I'm tempted to say something cool like a lion or something. I feel like that's a lot of people's answers, but I feel like I would be like a house dog to good owners. And just because you just be like relaxed and they take care of you and you get pampered and your food's provided and you get taken on walks, and it seems like a really like nice relaxing life to me.
You'd be Kenobi.
Yeah, I would be my dog.
Nick would be Kenobi.
Oh, that's great. Well, I have to thank you all for joining us and like spreading the word about the work that you do. Hey Rhody is, well, this would be like the typical, hey Rhody is on your newsstands now. Go. This might be the latest one, right? So when does the next one come?
It's typically out by the middle of the first week of the month. So what are we in right now? October. Right. So like
a week and a half.
Yeah, about a week and a half.
All right.
And you can get a subscription to any of those magazines at heyrhody.com.
Yeah, and we keep saying we're going to get that subscription link up on Shop Local. So we can
We're working on that as well.
Yeah. Anyway, have a wonderful day. I really, really appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you so much, Lori.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, Lori.
All right. Take care. Have a great day.
Bye.
All right, everyone. I really loved that conversation. So calm, informative. We got a lot of great stuff going on in Rhode Island. So here's to a great day. Even though we have a storm coming today, just stay safe and have a wonderful day. Thank you.